Hello and good morning. I have weird sea creatures today. It's day 47 and I have a quick message. I'm going to complete this book and then I'm going to show you an awesome trick that I just learned. It's water magic. It's something you can do at home. I hope that you had some good rest and you're looking forward to a day of learning and playing and making the world a better place on your indoor adventure. Here goes. This is Weird Sea Creatures that we started yesterday, and as we know, you don't have to read all of a book like this at one setting. You don't have to read all of any kind of book in one setting. As you get older and you become a better reader, you should read books that take you a few days because your brain is growing and you can handle that kind of thing now. So we read Strange But True, Survival Skills, Hide and Seek, Big Eyes, Making Light, and I think we stopped at Expert Food Finders. So I can see in the table of contents, that's page 16. I'm going to look at it. Sometimes my mind remembers with a picture. Oh, yes. I love this part of the book. So I'm going to start with Expert Food Finders, conclude the book, and show you a trick. The trick takes a little bit of time, so I wanted to leave enough time for that. Expert Food Finders. Some animals have wacky body parts that help them catch meals. Mouth, tail, gulper eel. Those are the labels, and sometimes they're called the captions if they tell about a picture. I think these are labels because they're pointing. The gulper eel has a super long tail. Prey comes closer for a better look. The eel's giant mouth opens wide. It can eat an animal bigger than it is. It can't be picky. In the deep sea, the eel must eat whatever it can find. Here's a joke. What did the Atlantic Ocean say to the Pacific Ocean? Nothing. It just waved. Haha, get it? Waves. I love this guy. The anglerfish. The tiny cookie cutter shark locks onto its prey with strange sucking lips. Its sharp teeth sink in. They leave a bite the shape of a circle. Look at the cookie cutter sharks feeding on a dolphin in this illustration. Bite marks. Are you making a connection right now to the wonderful BBC video that we saw of this animal? I bet you are, and I bet you remember this guy too. An anglerfish has its own fishing pole called a lure. The lure glows, and other fish want to know what it is. When they get close, the anglerfish eats them. I don't know if I read the captions, and I'm going to read it again because I can't remember. Look at the cookie cutter sharks feeding on a dolphin in this illustration. Bite marks. There they are. There's his sharp teeth. Fishing lure, anglerfish. And we learned in our video that there are bacteria on those that make them bioluminescent. Do you remember that? Deadly dangers. Bumping into some sea creatures can be bad news. The yellow sea anemone, that one is hard to say. You try it. Anemone looks like a pretty flower, but it has stinging parts that have deadly venom. When a fish is stung, its muscles stop working, and then the anemone eats the fish. Yellow sea anemone. Water word, venom, a liquid some animals make that can cause stinging, pain, or death. Box jellyfish, tentacles. The box jellyfish is one of the most dangerous animals in the world. It has arms called tentacles that grow up to 10 feet long. The tentacles deliver a painful, deadly sting. This lionfish has crazy spiky fins, but you wouldn't want to touch them. The fins on its back are sharp and can sting you. Lionfish, fins with venom. Strange senses. Some animals near the ocean floor don't even have eyes. They can't see their food, so they use other senses to find it. A sea cucumber can feel tiny pieces of food stuck to its tube feet. It curls its feet in and licks them clean. Sea cucumber. Hagfish. A hagfish has a super strong sense of smell and touch. It can smell food that's fallen from higher up in the ocean. It also uses feelers to find meals. Super subs. How do we know about weird sea creatures in the deep ocean? People can't dive deep to see these strange creatures. It's too cold and dark there, and the water pressure is strong enough to crush a person. But humans can use machines called submersibles to explore the deep ocean. Sometimes People control them from far away like a remote-controlled car, and sometimes people ride inside. So remember word parts? Sub. What does that mean? It means under or in place of. So it's an underwater vehicle. Water word, submersible, and an underwater craft used to explore and gather information. How deep? This submersible named Alvin can dive 4,764 feet deep. It would take more than 3 Empire State Buildings stacked up to reach that depth. These odd tube worms live on the bottom of the ocean. They can grow to be 8 feet tall. So right now, look at your floor and then make your eyes go all the way to your ceiling. The usual house has an 8 to 9 foot ceiling. So these tube worms on the bottom of the deep, deep sea can be that long. Ooh, that would be creepy to swim through, right? But you can't. It's too deep. And I love this guy. This is a very famous picture of a blobfish. Submersibles collect information. They have lights and special tools. They take pictures and they gather plants, rocks, and animals. Scientists use submersibles to find the weird creature shown here. And there are probably thousands more that have not been found yet. This is a pretty recent finding, the blobfish. And this is the only... it's hard to get it out because it just turns into a blob. So this is kind of what it's supposed to look like under the water. Stump your parents. These are questions you can ask your parents. What is bioluminescence? Machines that dive deep in the ocean are called blank. Which features are common in deep sea animals? Animals that have venom are blank. Humans can't scuba dive into the ocean because... Why? Oh, they can dive, but they can't dive deep, deep, deep. What is camouflage? And an animal that is eaten by another animal is called... And those are the definitions, again, in the glossary at the end of the book. Okay, so today's project, water project, I have my bowl from yesterday, and I have some paper. And I'm going to make something that's kind of like a sea anemone. So I have paper, and I'm just going to make a swirly thing. And some yellow for some tentacles. Or whatever those. Are those tentacles? I'm just going to color all around it. It doesn't really matter how I do it. I also made a flower before I got on the video. Here's my flower. So I just drew a flower with black Sharpie. And I wanted, this side I made a boo-boo. I wanted it to be bigger, similar size to the others. So I'm just doing some yellow and orange because that's what I picked up. And these are crayons, I think. Yeah, they might be oil pastels, but I just think they're crayons. I'm just coloring up my paper. And now I'm going to cut between some. So I have something to fold over. So I'm just going to cut out some shapes, some triangles, and keep doing that. And it does not need to be perfect. A sea anemone is not perfect. This is just a fun experiment. And if you have a little brother or sister, you can show them this. You can use scrap paper. It's fun if you color it. I liked adding some color because you'll see in a minute why. And we'll see which one works better, the simple design or the complex design. I did a simple design and tried before this video, but I didn't try a sea anemone. I like to say anemone. I'm practicing it. New big words are fun to say, like submersible and anemone. Do you like to say big words too? Yeah. Okay, so I've got this. It looks like a sunshine, kind of. And I'm just going to gently fold over all of my pieces into my circle part. And I really don't know if this will work because scientists try things. I'm trying to be like a scientist today. I'm going to fold them over. And then I'm just going to lay it in this water. It's all together pretty much. I'll smush it a little so it's more together. I made it pretty flat. It's not poking up too much. See? And I'm going to put it in the water and I'm going to see what happens. If my experiment works, it will be really neat. It's happening. I'm going to bring it close so you can see. It might take a while. I might show you with the flower too. Try not to do much. You might push it into the middle. But do you see what's happening? It's starting to happen. It's opening all by itself. Like magic. I'm going to put the flower on and see if that does it too. It's working. I'm not doing anything. Look at the sea anemone and look at that flower. They are starting to open all by themselves. It might not work all the way. It might take a while, but you can try it too. All you need is some paper. It's fun to add some colors. Ooh, and the leaves are curling up on this flower too. The petals. They're not leaves, silly Miss Barber. This is very cool. Okay, you try it too, and you see if yours opens up all the way. It looks like they're dancing. I keep pushing it away from the side because it's dancing all around. Is the flower going to open all the way before the video ends? Do you think so? Make a prediction. You can change your prediction if something happens. The sea anemone stopped. I wonder if I help it out a little, will it work? I'll help it. Just halfway open, halfway closed. And the same with the leaf, the petal. It needed help from Mrs. Barber. So I hope that you make one too and let me know how it goes. And I'll see you in our class meeting in just a little bit. I love you very much. Bye.